Slap that options button to begin. Coming back into WRC10, coming off that last video of the rally fundamentals. So that Tartu stage also came up as a daily challenge. So I'm kind of making this supplemental video to the prior one. Again, another look at the stage. And because it's at nighttime, when we go into the helicopter view, we can see the brake lights coming on and off, and we can also see the direction of the car with the headlights. So we can see how early we're getting rotated, we can see what direction the car is facing, and as well as we can see those brake lights coming on and off to demonstrate that left foot braking. So again, more of a supplemental video to the last, and we'll be setting a top time here on the daily leaderboards. So starting to this one, we'll see a quick little back-to-back about the wrong way to take this and the right way to take this. So when we're attacking that curb, we want to get a rotation done early and then power through it. We don't want to be sideways as we're hitting this curb. We want to get that rotation done and then power straight through it to avoid that rollover risk. I can't believe that wasn't a corner cut, and that kind of messes up the next few turns as I was trying to recover from not cutting that corner too much, and again I got away with it. But you'll see the next 3 turns I took after that were kind of offline and kind of slow. So another thing to note is when you make a mistake, you'll really realize that mistake in the next 2 or 3 turns, not so much the place where you made that mistake. So if you find yourself having issues with a certain turn, maybe look 2 or 3 turns back prior, and maybe that's the turn that you're actually setting yourself up wrong, and you have a cascading effect into the next few turns. But again, we're following those fundamentals, eyes all the way up, tracing the road as far as we can go, already all the way up this crest. Early inputs, left foot braking to get our weight shifted so we can slide through these turns. Not too much sliding, just as much as we need to get ourselves through the turns as fast as possible. So this time here was going to be good enough for 3rd on the leaderboard, so we're going to hop right back into it, try to get that top spot. You'll notice a lot of similarities. In a course that's less than a minute long, you know, every minute detail counts, so just getting this second turn here a little bit better might be what I need to get myself a better time. And already, you know, we're getting through this section a lot nicer because we didn't mess up on that tight left way earlier. Keeping up our speed, keeping up our momentum as we go through these turns. Going straight through these hay bales. And we're going to kind of flick ourselves in preparation for this turn here. Just a little bit wide on that exit, which kind of messes up into here. But we're getting around it. Here, initiating the turn with our brakes, but also just a little bit of a handbrake to help us along at the end. And as we come up here, we're going to try to take this in a nice, smooth, single radius. And power ourselves out. Late apex on this so we can take advantage of this straight. And then again, straight right out of this to the finish line. So the line I took really didn't change that much from the first run, and it's also the same line I was following in the previous Rally Fundamentals video. But just the little minutia, the little nuance of how you set yourself up into a corner, coming out of a corner, staying flat, will make up those few tenths. So here's this helicopter view, and look at the headlights for rotation, look at how early we're getting rotation, and look at the brake lights coming on and off for the left foot braking. But look how early I'm rotating into these corners, right? I want to be looking down the exit as I'm coming out. I want to get my rotation early, especially this one, right? Like, I'm pretty much already straight. I had a little bit of a oversteer moment on throttle on the exit there, but I'm always trying to get my rotation done early and then powering straight out of the turn on exit. And when you see those brake lights coming off, remember too, I'm coming off the brakes smoothly and not abruptly too, so I'm coming off the brakes before those brake lights come off. You know, I'm starting to take away brakes. So when the brake lights come fully off, that's when I'm fully off, right? So I'm going to be letting off brakes before those brake lights come off. So again, that helicopter view really gives us a good idea about the rotation with the headlights and the left foot braking with the brake lights. And it's a great view to use for yourself in your own replays to kind of look at the line you're taking through multiple turns and see if you can connect them any better. With this last view here, we can see the steering wheel inside, so we can see how early we're putting in those inputs. We can see how long we're holding the input for, how soon we're starting to unwind that input and maybe even countersteer. So as we start getting some of that rotation with the left foot braking, we feel the car starting to rotate. That's where we want to start unwinding some of that steering, getting the steering wheel back to center and maybe even correcting ourselves with some countersteer if necessary. Again, the more countersteer you're doing, that probably means you send it in a little bit too hot. You definitely want to slide, but not too much, because too much sliding is going to be slower. And again, we can use that handbrake to help us if we're asking for that turn with the left foot braking, we're just not getting it, a little bit of handbrake there will help with that rotation. So hopefully this gave you guys a good view from the top down, from the inside, the inputs of the steering, when we want to get rotated, the left foot braking inputs. So again, kind of just a supplemental video to that rally fundamentals. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.